Alright, let's do this. Hello dudes and dudeses, and welcome to a video about the FabMiss. Yes, I have upgraded it. It's no longer the FabMiss 3.2, it's the FabMiss 4.0. It's smaller, it's simpler, it's faster, it's cheaper, it's better. Yeah! Welcome back dudes and dudeses, and let's just continue where we left off. For those of you who have no idea what the FabMiss 3.2 is, or this one, the 4.0, it's a storage system. It's a smart, quick, very nice storage system. So, why have I upgraded it or changed it? Well, I recently got inspired because I wanted to build this in my own world. This is actually why I designed it. And I had miscounted the blocks, so I needed it to be smaller. That's one reason. The other reason is I've had some people in my Discord community having some trouble with the 3.2 just recently because they were playing on a non-vanilla server. Probably a paper or something like that. And I wanted to make it even simpler and even more reliable. And here we have it, the FabMiss 4.0. First, for those of you who know what the FabMiss is, I'm going to go through the differences very quickly, and then I'm going to explain how this whole storage systems works from beginning to end. But some of you who already know the 3.2 may not want to listen to all that, so I'm just going to take the differences first. And that over there is the FabMiss 3.2. The FabMiss 3.2 I think is a very neat, very simple and very easy to build system, but it was too wide that way for my storage system, so I have made it 3 or 4 blocks smaller and 1 or 2 blocks lower. And in the process I have made it faster because things doesn't have to travel so far, and I have made it way cheaper. If we look at all this right here at the top, you can see there's a node block, there's repeaters, there's observer, minecart, sticky pistons, observer, and all that is gone. I have made 2 slices by themselves here, so you can see easily how it is to build and how the whole thing works. And you can see this top here compared to the top I showed you before, there's absolutely no observers except 1. And there's no sticky pistons, and there's no repeaters, and none of that. What I have added is a cauldron with lava and a soul sand block right here, because this version of the FabMiss, the 4.0, works with Minecart yeeting. And if you don't know what Minecart yeeting is, the idea is that you basically drive your minecart into something that breaks it, and then you collect the minecart, and we do that in this hopper line right here, and all the items are put here, so they go down to the storage system right here. Now by doing that I save a lot of space, and I also save a lot of complications about how to get the minecarts back, because before, when a minecart went up here, you can just put something in. Before, when a minecart was launched, it had to get over here, find its spot, and then it had to be pushed back like that. And it went back, and it went down there, was broken, and went back to the system. In the 4.0, the minecart doesn't need to go back. It goes in there, finds its slot somewhere. There, is broken, right there, stays there, and the minecart goes back through that hopper line. So it doesn't have to go back and all the way down there. So in that sense, it's faster. It's faster as well because it only has 6 blocks to go to the bubble column. And the 3.2 had 9. And when the filter items were spit out, it also had a longer way back to the inventory chest down there. So it's faster in that regard as well. So just to recap, the 4.0 is smaller, both in height and width, or depth, perhaps you can call it, and it's considerably cheaper per slice, and it's also faster. Now, this is the part of the video where I will try to explain how it works. First of all, you can see that we have in this slice here, we actually have two slices. They're slightly different. They're staggered. And the reason is that when you yeet minecarts, and I have to admit, I have no idea what yeeting really means. I'm not, as you probably can hear, originally English speaking. But basically, when you break the minecarts and all the items fall out, you cannot have them right next to each other because the items will flow over and break the system. So you have to have them staggered like this. Now, the way it works, if we go from the bottom, is like this. We have a rail in here, and right now there's not water in all of them, but there is in the full system because we have to slow down the minecart. The minecart that comes along this takes out the items that it wants to store, and it searches for a slice. And you can see in here, we have set this up. I will go through this as well. In here, it can actually store oak logs. If I try to take this out, you can see it retracts the rail, which means that the minecart that's going here will snap down to this rail down here, and it will go over here. And these two I will explain in a second. Then it goes up here. When it goes over this hopper right here, it takes out the filter items again, the one that needs to be down there, and it puts it in this dropper. Then the minecart goes over this detector rail, which fires this observer, which fires this dropper, which spits out the item again, that then goes through here into a hopper and then into the filter chest once more. It makes it ready to have another minecart with oak logs come and be stored. Then it goes up here and it hits this crystal, this amethyst crystal. It's the largest of them. If you're in a world where you have player heads, you can use those as well. And it breaks because it tries to snap down to this rail down here. And in here there's lava. So the minecart breaks and the minecarts go into this hopper, which is returned to the system over there. And all the loot or the items are dropped here and goes into the system in here. Here you can see we have comparators measuring whether there's something in that hopper, which shows us visually along the way which slice is being stored in. And if there's all the chests are full and this one is full and things start to pile up here, it will also turn on permanently, so you know that you have to clear out something in that slice. Now, if we look at the other slice or look at the double slice from the other side, you can see it's slightly more complicated here. It actually goes, the minecart goes here, it's exactly the same and it's broken and go down here, and then the minecart goes here, but we cannot have the minecart go into the storage system, so we have to have it go over here to the same hopper line, which means we have a pot right, what's it called? Is it called a pot? I think it is. You know what it is. You can see what it is. And as long as you have the hopper pointing that way, nothing will get down here. So the items will land here instead and go down here, in through that, down here, and get stored in this one down here. By the way, just for clarity, it's because I've copy pasted this. You can see these are not here. I will put them back like this, and this of course needs to be like that. So you can see there's actually not that much going on. If we look at this is powdered snow, and the reason I'm using powdered snow is because it centers the item. This is one long water, it's all water sources here. So to make sure that it stays in line in its own slice, we have powdered snow right here, just as we used in the FabMiss 3.2. Now, as you can see, I have opted for having some items here. It makes absolutely no sense. I just took some random stuff and put them in the filter chests. And the filter chest, it's nice with with this system, and it was the same in the 3.2, is that you can actually reach the filter chests down here. We have two unstackable items like this. We have a filler item, and you always need to rename a filler item just to make sure that nothing goes wrong. And you have a whole stack, you have 5, and then you just have 1. It's not necessary for it to be laid out like this. It's the amount that matters. But the thing is, when I take out this, if we just go back and look at this right here, this torch right there, you can see when I pull out this, you heard the pistons, and the piston was retracting the rail from the system inside. So when the minecart is coming, it goes down and it goes up and over here. And you can see this torch right here is telling us that this item is missing, which means that you should not send another minecart, because you can go under a slice that hasn't got its item in it, so you can actually end up messing up the system, or basically you can't, but it will go down there and be unsorted. Remember, when the minecart goes up here, it goes over this here and it puts down this item again, the bamboo block. It will put it down here, spit it out. If I go in here and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this column right here, what happens is that it spits this out, it goes down there, and you heard the piston, and now it's ready to send off another minecart. The input chest and these torches down here are connected. As long as there's things to be sorted in the chest, which we measure by this comparator right here, then it will send off a minecart. But as long as this is lit, which means that the filler item hasn't, well, not the filler item, the sorting item has not returned to its place yet, it will not send off a minecart, because if it was bamboo it was looking for, it would not be able to take out any bamboo, and it would end up in the overflow or the unsorted row down there. So this kind of locks the minecarts from going until the filler item or the sorting item is returned. And the neat thing with this system and the 3.2, well, basically with many normal and newer sorting system, is that you don't need to have anything in the storage chests beforehand. You don't have to fill them out. It's all controlled by this chest down here. And the neat thing about this system is that there's easy access. Often in many systems, this chest is somewhere up here in the back, and you need to get up there and survival and crawl and so on. Here you can just easily adjust what you want to sort for just by doing it here. You put in the item and you take out the fill item. That's it. So that's why it's arranged like this. So as long as you fill to only here, down here, what you do is you just take out an item like that, and then you are sorting for that. Let's try, we don't actually have that. We don't actually have smooth stone, so let's go over in this row right here and say we want smooth stone in here. So we take out an item like that, and then we're sorting for smooth stone. Let's put in a stack, and the items, the system starts, the minecart goes away, and what was it, number 3? So it should come here somewhere, goes here. And you can see it's sorting for it, and it comes in here, and it always starts with getting 36. Now it should be going up to 64, and we did. So that's how easy it is to actually add items to your system. This is a mechanism that's used in many storage systems. It's not my invention in any way, shape, or form. But the way it works is that this amount of stuff, these two unstackable items and these items here, give off a signal strength of 2. You can see here it's on, here it's off. And if I take out one item, you can see it goes down to 1. And that's what releases the pistons in there and retracts the rail. And because it's soul sand and there's rail underneath, the minecart will snap down to the rail underneath and go up. And when it's ejected from through the powdered snow and it goes back, it will be pushed back, and that we use to signal that it's ready, the system is ready for another minecart to pick up items and store them. Now there is a special case when you have items. I don't know how many items, but there's ender pearls at least, and there's eggs. So if we put in this one item that stacks to 16, you can see that it's still signal strength 2, and when you take it out, it also goes down to signal strength 1. So that kind of work if you only have one item in there. But see what happens if I take another item like this and puts in there. Now, if I take out this, it stays on for 2. So when you have multiple items, you have to take out additional 2 items, which I usually take them out here. 1, 2, 1, 2. So like that, you still have a signal strength of 2, but now when you take this out, it goes down to 1. And if you want to mix and match, so you have things that stack to 64 in the same chest as things that stack to 16, then you cannot just take out this, because if I take out this now, you can see the signal strength won't go down. So you still have to take out, I'm just going to take these 1, 2 extra. Now the signal strength is still 2, but if now I take out this item, you can see it goes down to 1. And if I take out one of these items, the signal strength go down to 1. So that's how you do it. You can mix and match, and you can have only items that stack to 16 in one chest, but you just have to remember you have to take out additional 2 filler items for it to work. Now let's try and see this system in action. Let's just take some of these, and oh yeah, by the way, if you're storing redstone items and you think that the redstone block is a good idea to use, don't. It's not a mistake I would ever make. I'm just telling you from a friend, don't do that, because that kind of messes up the system. So if we take some redstone and we take some of these and some of that and some of that, for instance, and we put it in here. Let's say we put a stack of that, and then we put a stack of that, and you don't have to have stacks. You can have however many, or we can take whatever, something like that. And did I have that? And now you can see it's actually doing something down here, putting something in this chest. That's a redstone chest. So this must be this that's going in here. And if we look at the chest over here, you can see, yes, it has taken that. Now the minecart comes again, and it's sorting something over here like that. And if we look at it from the top down, this view right here, then we should be able to see the minecart come in like that, get yeeted, and then the next minecart will set off down there like that. And sort in that column, and you can see the blinking down there. I will go through that. That's a minecart returning. And now there's a new minecart that gets off, empties something from the chest, and that was the same row, I think. And you can see down here, this is what controls it all. As long as that is on, it won't turn on another minecart. When that goes off, it will send off another minecart. It means that the sorting item is back in its place, and another minecart is sent out and put on the way. And then you can see here, there's the sorting item going in, and that means we send off another minecart like that. and you can see the light is on there, then it goes in, goes off, another minecart is sent off right there, and takes off the item there, and goes in here somewhere. All the way down there. Eventually, when the chest is empty, which will be in 2 turns, it always takes just over half a stack, normally 36 items by the first pass. So you have to make sure that there's room for it to be able to take out the filler item. So 2 minecarts more, and this should be empty. And you can see just under a stack right there. And that should be the final minecart. This should be empty. And when that torch down there goes out, you will see that it puts out a minecart and it puts it down here in a waiting position. Now, if we look at this minecart, because that's interesting too, you can see there's 4 other minecart with hoppers in it, but it's filled in a way that a minecart will normally not filled. Normally, it would look like this. This is the first slot. It will always be filled. But doing it like this means that the filler item will go in here, which means that, and now we are back to these hoppers down here. You can see we have a row of hoppers underneath the farm right here. And when the minecart goes over those 2 hoppers, it's timed so it takes out these 4 minecarts. It starts 1, 2, 3, 4, and it leaves the filler item right here. So when the minecart goes up there, it holds the amount it has taken from the chest plus the filler item, and then it goes across here and the filler item is taken out again, spat out, put back into the chest, and the rest goes into storage. So that's how that works, and that's a kind of special piece of magic here, where we have a minecart, and the way it's powered means that it's powered on and it's going at the same time, and that kind of leaves this special setup for the minecarts. Now we have minecarts in this, and we have minecarts in this, and that's it. So we have 5 minecarts here, 5 minecarts here, 1 here, and then we have this one with 4 in it, and then there's 1 in there. The stuff down here that looks kind of quirky, it's the kind of stuff that I don't call redstone but fabstone, because that's how my brain works, and it works. Is just basically to get a signal from there to over here in the right way and send off this minecart down here. Now, when the cart is yeeted, and I still don't know what that means, but it means that the minecart itself goes in here, the items go over here, the minecart goes into this hopper chain right here, and they all come here. This one is just for lag, but it goes down here, all through this chain down here, and these are barrels just to make sure that there's the same width, so there's nothing that can get stuck on anything down here, and it goes into this dropovator, and this is Tegman 88 silence dropovator, and the minecarts that's pulled out here goes into the same dropovator and up here so they're back in the same place. Behind the chest right here, as I said, we have a comparator that sees anything in the chest and then fires a signal down here to this block right here, which then fires this sticky piston, which fires this rail here and sends off the minecart into a bubble column up here. And up here we have water to slow it down, but you can also see that the powered rails themselves are blinking, which will in fact slow the minecart even further. And we have achieved that by having 2 of observers looking into each other that is pushed back and forth. They need to be pushed by a piston to work, which makes it blinking and go even slower. Now then we have this lever right here, because where did we have it? In here. If I take something that stacks to 16 and put it in here, the system is too fast. We can just try it. And you can see it takes out everything, which means that then that spot is full. It will go out, underneath the filter chest in here, down here, and it won't pull this out, which means that it can't find any place to store it. So it will go to the last row and it will put it in here instead. So if we know that, I mean, it's not a catastrophe because it will go down there, but if we know that we have items that stack to 16, we do this. And what we basically do is we slow down this system right here. So now you can see the minecart has gone by, but it hasn't taken it all. So now it will take 2 minecarts to store 1 stack of items that stack to 16, just as it takes 2 minecarts to store 1 item that stacks to 64. But now you can see it gets sorted in the right place. Another neat thing I think about this system is that if you're like me, often your head are in, you're not thinking straight. Let's put it like that. You're not always clear-minded. So when you set up your chests for what to be stored, you might accidentally sort for the same thing twice. So for instance, here in this row, I sort for glass. I have sorted a lot of glass. And you can see that makes sense because we're sorting for glass in this chest. But where is it? Over here. I forgot that I was sorting for glass there and I wanted to sort for glass, so I put in another one right here. In this system, it doesn't matter. It doesn't break the system or anything. The only thing that will happen is that when the minecart goes underneath and it takes out, well, not this one, when it takes out this one, all the glass will go in the first row where you're sorting for this item. So if you sort for an item there, 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 and there, then it will only be the first row that you sort in it for that the items will actually be stored. But it won't break the system in any way. Okay, what is this here, this glass row? Well, this glass row is to symbolize that because of the way this works with a redstone signal, and because redstone signals can only travel 15 blocks before it needs to be amplified by, for instance, a repeater, you can only have this being 15 long, and then you will have to have an amplifier, and then you can make it 15 long again, and an amplifier, and 15 long again, and an amplifier. And if you have that, then you would probably have some kind of column or something, and you will just basically remove everything in that column, except remember that, of course, this hopper line needs to go all the way, also in those places where you do not have actually storage. So that's what that's supposed to symbolize. Then there's a special thing about the end, whether it's after 15 or after several. In the end, where we have the overflow, the last row. And of course, in an overflow chest, we don't have anything we sort for, because that's kind of the point. It's everything that we don't sort for that will go here. So this is set up a bit differently. So you can see that we have a detector rail and we have something that goes on right here. And basically what this does is that it remembers to start a new minecart. Otherwise, because no item that is sort for will go back and turn off the torch, it will be on always. or it will never be on. So this is kind of just a small system to make sure that even when things go down here, because they're not in the system will still keep sending out minecarts if there's thing in the chest down there. Another neat thing with this system, I think, is, apart from everything else about this system that is neat, is that it's indefinitely expandable in this direction, but it's actually also indefinitely expandable upwards. Now I have made this one 5 high because that's basically what I'm normally comfortable with having. It's a human scale when you're in the game and you can reach it and so on. But you could have this to be 10 or 20 high. All you have to do is prolong this water column right here and then move everything up. So there's no limits like that to how much you can store that way, and there's basically no limits to how much you can store that way either, as long as you remember to prolong this. And now we're talking about this. This is kind of the logic. I love this because it's very logical. Most people will, even though they don't, really have much to do with redstone, they kind of understand that when the item is out of the chest, this is on. When the item is spat back and runs into the chest, this goes off. This sends off another minecart. There's a clear logic to that, and it also there's a clear logic to why then the system will never fail, because it will never ever send a minecart out unless the items are the directory items are all back. However, in the FabMiss 3.2, I had a clock right here, and you could indeed have that clock in the 4.0 as well. And if we look at the 3.2, you can see the clock is right here, and it's an either or. Either you use this clock or you use this system right here. And something's wrong right here, I can see, but you either use that or that to determine when the minecart goes. And the way we achieve that here is that we have a detector rail where the minecarts go over that. It makes a signal, and what we basically do is we break that, and we instead have this delay. And then every time a minecart passes there, it will send another minecart going. And this, especially in the 3.2, will speed up the process. So when you have an item way down there, as soon as the minecart has passed this place, it will send off another minecart. It doesn't have to wait to go all the way down there and to have the item go up here and being spat out. However, it can be too fast. This small delay right here takes care of most situations with normal items, but if you have items that stack to 16, you might risk that they will go too fast and end up in the chest down here, the unsorted chest. And because I've had some people having problems with this beep, for instance, if you have lag spikes on a server or if you are on a non-vanilla server, the clock, well, that's always kind of a bit unpredictable. This is not. I mean, this is A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. It cannot go. The minecart cannot go before the item is back. So if you're comfortable with setting up redstone, if you know how to measure the time it takes to go down there, testing it and so on, by all means, speed it up. The important thing for me is reliability. If you remember Scar's sorting system in season 9 of Hermitcraft, if you've seen that, that's the situation that you really don't want to end up in survival. Now, I'm not going to do a block by block tutorial of this because it makes no sense. You have to have at least a bit understanding of redstone doing it, but I think I've done my best to explain it, and I will leave you a world download. However, you will log into this world, which is one of my historic text world, and there will be a lot of stuff if you fly around, and several earlier iterations of other storage systems and so on, and you just have to live with it. And maybe you'll find something interesting in here to play around with. But I have made it so that if we look right here, you should spawn in on this block right here. And I have made a perimeter, as you can see, with these yellow blocks, and everything that's related to the latest version, the FabMiss 4.0, should be in this block. And if you ask why I don't just copy and paste it to another world, is because every time I do that, something messes up. Something about the water, something about the rails, something about, and then if I don't catch it and you use that world download as reference, then maybe you will have faults in your system, things that doesn't work. This works, I've tested it, so I will feel more secure with letting you in here and have a look at this system right here and use this, try and rebuild from this, or make it light Matica from this, than something that I have pasted into another world. Alright, dudes and dudesses, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I really hope you can use this system. I think it's pretty brilliant. And if you're brand new and normally don't watch this channel, do subscribe. It helps out a lot. And remember, the world downloads is in the Discord community, where there's a lot of smart people that also are usually very, very helpful and will help you if you encounter problems with building it. And I'm there as well, not every day, not always, but ever so often. And if I see you in there and you have a question, I will try to answer. So see you in the next video. Bye.